emotions, behavior, and overall well-being. And then I'll talk about how the thoughts shape our perception and experiences. I'll give two situations that we can go through real quick, and if you guys are up for it, we'll do a guided meditation. So, all right, so I got my notes here, so I'll go through it, and I'll explain everything, and then we'll talk about things as we go along. That's usually the flow of things. So, all right, so our thoughts have a profound impact on our emotions, behavior, and overall well-being. The way we think influence how we feel and act, as well as how we perceive and interact with the world around us. So that's a lot. So we're gonna go over emotions, how our thoughts trigger a wide range of emotions. So from joy and excitement to fear and sadness. For example, if we're constantly thinking negative thoughts about ourselves or our abilities, we may experience feelings of low self-esteem or anxiety. On the other hand, if we have positive and optimistic thoughts, it can lead to feelings of happiness and confidence. So if we're waking up and we're thinking about, when you first wake up and you have a negative thought, usually your day ends up being negative. You start attracting things that, you start attracting things that are negative coming your way. Sometimes you'll run into someone that says good morning and offers you a beautiful smile. You also have that choice right there and then how you're going to react to it. Are you going to continue to think those negative thoughts, there's nothing good about this morning, or are you going to respond with, oh, good morning, I guess it is a good morning.
Right.
I've been hearing you speak a lot about
aware,
being positive.
Yeah, being aware of that, making that switch, just stopping that mind, that what you just said, and literally saying, that's not true, and then saying the opposite, which is positive, so that'll help train your mind a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
So when we wake up or when we're feeling a certain emotions, we do have to pause a little bit and wonder, why do I feel the way I do? Is it the thoughts that I'm feeding myself? So that's something we're gonna get a little bit deep into it in just a sec. So just keep that in mind. So our thoughts trigger our emotions, then our behaviors. So our thoughts also influence our actions and behavior. For instance, if we believe that we are capable and deserving of success, we're more likely to pursue our goals and determination and persistence. If we have negative thoughts, it can lead to self-sabotaging behaviors and avoidance of challenges. So if I'm thinking negative, like, oh, I can't do that, or I'm not gonna be able to run that mile, I'm not gonna be able to save that much, or do this, I'm going to behave that way.
You're limiting yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's why we have to be careful what thoughts are coming through. So with the overall well-being, so the cumulative impact of our thoughts on our emotions and behaviors can significantly affect our overall well-being. Research has shown that individuals who have a more positive outlook tend to experience better mental and physical health outcomes compared to those with more negative mindset. So our thoughts right here, they're telling us okay, we're triggering emotions by our thoughts, and then we're influence our behavior, and then because of that, we influence, it has an impact overall. So we have to be careful. So if we have negative emotions, we have negative behaviors, then we have a negative outcome, or a negative way we perceive the world or experience the world. The truth is the same thing for positive. So this part is the part that I like the best, because it says, let's explore how our thoughts shape our perceptions and experiences. So the way we see things and what we go through is affected by how we think and what we believe. Our thoughts and beliefs can make us see situations in a certain way, and sometimes we might not even realize it. Our minds have a natural tendency to see things in a certain light, which can affect how we understand what's happening around us. So they talk about cognitive filters. Have you guys ever heard of that? Because this is the first time I ever heard about this. Cognitive filter is exciting. Okay.
Yeah, I can't remember. I remember hearing about it, but I forget what it is exactly.
So it talks about our minds are constantly filtering and interpreting incoming information based on how existing beliefs and assumptions. This cognitive filtering process can lead us to focus on certain aspects of situations while ignoring and minimizing others, shaping our overall perception of reality. So I did the simple interpretation. So we we have the tendency to seek out information. Oh, hold on. Our brains are always sorting and making sense of what we see and hear based on what we think and believe. So we think, I don't even know the sign. I think you might know. How many thoughts do we have like per?
So we
many,
we
yeah.
think is 90,000, is 86,000, is 86,400 seconds in a day, and we're thinking 90,000 thoughts, and I want to say only 10% are new, and majority of those thoughts that we're thinking are from the previous day. So therefore, that's why we're actually conditioned to do the things that we wanted that we're doing. So that's why it's important to rediscover new thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So cognitive filter, which is crazy. So thoughts are always coming across our mind.
We're thinking more than there's time. How are we even doing that?
But
we're incredible.
Yeah, human beings, like, we
That's
have
why I
that
threw
ability.
everything away in my apartment.
Say that
I
again?
threw everything away in my apartment because of cognitive filters, and
Energy.
I cleared my cognitive bandwidth out of my house because I realized that everything you look at, your brain's processing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's why when you have a disorganized home, you have a disorganized mind.
I never thought about
Mercy.
that.
Lord have mercy
Yeah,
on you.
messy bed, messy head.
Yeah.
But that's also why your car
Very
runs better when it's clean.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because
You're taking care of it.
Well, you gotta think, you have all these things happening inside of the car, but when you clear it out, the vehicle itself, it's clear, the cognitive bandwidth in it is clear so it can function. There's no dirt on it,
Good energy.
there's no
yeah.
bad, you
Clean energy, yeah.
you cleaned it. So it actually feels like it's running better because anything that you focus on, it changes. Anything that's observed changes.
Mm.
So when you clean it, it's actually a clean car. It runs better. It's
Yeah.
clean. You know.
Yes. So we
Speak.
have cognitive filters going on. So what are we filtering? We would think that we're filtering out the bad.
Yeah.
But see, we're accustomed to thinking a certain way, feeling a certain way. It's our comfort zone. We always kind of go to default into those emotions and feelings. So, but now being aware, I'm like, oh my goodness, those many thoughts, oh my God. So I love that one. The next one is confirmation bias. So we have a tendency to seek out information that confirms our existing beliefs and dismiss or discount evidence that contradicts them.
Right.
This confirmation bias can reinforce or preconceived notion and prevent us from considering alternative perspective. So sometimes we look for information that agrees with what we already think, and we ignore the other stuff.
Stubborn. It's called being stubborn.
Plain and simple.
Right. So
No.
this can make us believe even more strongly in what we already thought and stop us from considering other points of view.
Wow, like being more open to it.
Yes.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Whenever I find a new task, I no longer look up how it doesn't work.
That's Pete. You hear this? Say that one more time, please.
One more time.
One more time.
I never look up how something doesn't work anymore.
Mm.
Or I don't look up how can this fail? Or how can this go wrong?
Yeah.
I don't look that up anymore because you're always gonna find it.
Right.
Because of confirmation bias.
Yes. Yes.
So if I say, well, what are the pitfalls of being an insurance agent? Well, of course there's pitfalls to everything.
Mhm.
You know,
So why focus that energy?
why even focus on
Yeah.
it? Why am I looking at how to fail?
Right.
Yes.
I quit doing that. I don't believe in failure anymore. Well, fail is first attempt at learning.
Yeah.
So I'm going to fail, but not failure. I'm not a failure.
No.
I'm just taking steps to get better.
Yes. Yes.
And I only look up how to win.
Yes.
Let me say something.
Go ahead.
That was powerful. I want to say this for those who are looking for more information on what he just said, because you just put it. There's a book called The Biology of Belief by Bruce Lipton. And it's our biology, our belief system is a biology. It creates our reality. So what you just said sums up the whole book, but that's powerful.
That's crazy.
So stop looking for,
Yeah, you do.
start looking at for the good, the things that you want.
Yeah.
That's
And
peace.
can I say the failure part? When you think that you have failed, you just learned another, I guess, aspect of that thing,
Yeah,
whatever that is. You just
absolutely.
learn something about it. And if you fail again, you learn something else. So when you do achieve what you need to achieve, you have all this building block.
Yeah.
And as long as you keep going,
Right.
as long as you keep going, you're not failing.
Yeah.
That's right.
You just have to keep going. I mean, if you do fail, you learn from it and you try again.
Yeah.
You gotta just keep trying. Never give up.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that, you guys.
Man.
Okay, so a little bit with the confirmation bias too, which is that this can make us believe even more strongly in what we already thought. I also thought about like how many situations I came across and I talked to someone, but I only considered my side, my point of view, and thought, okay, I'm right. You know, so it brought an awareness to me that when I have certain type of conversation, especially being like a life coach, like I can't use my own personal beliefs. I have to be open and listen and just, you know, hear what they're going through and how they're seeing it, because my way is not always the right way.
Right. I feel it, yeah.
In psychology, it's called bracketing. So you're jumping down the whole rabbit hole of that particular person that you're dealing with, and letting go of all of your beliefs, and allowing the person to speak and be themselves and listen to what that person, becoming that person. Like stepping out of your shoes and stepping into the person's shoes.
Right.
Yeah.
The third one is self-fulfilling prophecies. Our beliefs about ourselves and our abilities can become self-fulfilling prophecies, influencing our behaviors in ways that align with our expectations. For example, if we believe that we are destined to fail, we may inadvertently engage in behaviors that undermine our chances of success. So what we believe about ourselves can actually come true because it affects how we act. So if we believe we're gonna fail, we're gonna do things like we'll self-sabotage ourselves. You know, well, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not even gonna start that because I'm not gonna finish it.
To the behavior.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I thought that was pretty
Wow.
cool. I'm sorry, I got my notes. All right, so we're gonna do like a little exercise, but I made it easier because I created like scenarios. But we're gonna do an exercise that identifies and challenges negative thought patterns. This was really good. I got excited about this. So, yeah. We're going to identify a specific negative thought or belief that is causing distress. And these are the 6 steps. You're gonna have the notes, I promise. So we're gonna go over a situation. We're gonna describe the situation or event that triggered the negative thought. Then we're gonna do the thought, write down the negative thought or belief associated with the situation. Then we're gonna go over the emotion. We're gonna identify the emotions that accompany the negative thought. And then we're gonna do the evidence part, which is examine the evidence that support and contradict the negative thought. And then we got alternative thought. Generate alternative, more balanced interpretation of the situation. And then we're gonna do the last one, re-evaluation. Reflect on how the alternative thought impacts the emotions and behavior. So to save time, I did 2 situations. So we're not gonna write anything down, but I did 2 for us so that we can test it out. So this is gonna be the situation. You are scrolling through social media and come across a post where somebody is criticizing your work, okay? So what is the thought? I can't believe they said that about me. Maybe they're right, I'm not as good as I thought. The emotion, feelings of hurt, self-doubt, and defensiveness. So what is the evidence? There's 2, you gotta do the supporting and the contradicting. The supporting evidence, the critical comment on social media appears to validate your fears and insecurities about your work. So the critical comments on social media appears to validate your fears and insecurities about your work. So it didn't say it supported that they were right, it supported that you have eternal fears and insecurities about your own work. The contradicting evidence, you have received positive feedback from others in the past indicating that your work is valuable and appreciated. Okay? So what is an alternative thought to what you just originally thought, which was, I can't believe they said that about me, maybe they're right, and I'm not as good as I thought. So the alternative thought is, I recognize that everyone is entitled to their opinion, but I choose not to let one negative comment define my worth or abilities. I trust in my skills and the value of my work, regardless of what others may say. Doesn't that sound way better?
Yes.
That sounds way better.
Yes.
So the sixth step is reevaluating your alternative thought. After adopting the alternative thought, you feel a sense of empowerment and resilience. By refusing to take the criticism personally and honoring your commitment to make assumptions, you are honoring your commitment to not make assumptions. You are able to maintain your confidence and self-esteem. The shift in mindset allows you to navigate the situation with grace and integrity, rather than allowing negative thoughts to undermine your sense of work and purpose. So
That'll swamp someone up.
Yeah.
If you don't get self-control of your thoughts.
absolutely.
You can look at it and read the comment and go, ooh, a business opportunity.
That too.
How to make it
Absolutely.
better.
Yes.
What can I do to
Yes. I
improve
love
that
that.
Well, how can I benefit off of this?
experience or whatever
How can I benefit off of the energy that this person
Yes.
put into my business?
Mhm.
Should I just leave it there?
Sometimes you can leave it there and have other people.
Should I respond?
Sometimes people jump
Or
in.
use it as
and-
fuel.
Yeah,
And
that
defend
too.
you.
Yeah.
They'll jump in
Should
and
I
defend
hate
you.
with
Yeah,
them?
or them.
Could I say, yeah, you're right? Should I make a fake account and go in there and add to the hate? Bring more traffic to my business?
Yeah, that's definitely another way.
So many.
Yeah. So,
Or the positive one. No, I'm kidding.
I have a second situation. So, you receive a critical email from your boss regarding a project you've been working on. The thought, I'm such a failure, I can never seem to get anything right. The emotion, you have feelings of inadequacy, frustration, and anxiety. What is the evidence? The supporting evidence. You made a mistake on the project and your boss pointed it out in an email. That's all that happened. Contradicting evidence. You have successfully completed similar projects in the past and this mistake is fixable. So what is your alternative thought? Making mistake is a natural part of the learning process. I acknowledge the error I made and I'm capable of correcting it and learning from it. So then you reevaluate it. After considering the alternative thought, you feel a sense of relief and empowerment. You realize that making mistakes doesn't define your worth or competence. Instead of dwelling on the negative, you focus on finding a solution to the problem, improving your skills for future projects. This shift in perspective helps alleviate the feelings of inadequacy and anxiety, allowing you to approach the situation with a more constructive mindset. So these situations, they really do teach you when you have situations pop up, if you just pause for a minute, you can practice these 6 steps, or you can choose how you want to move forward.
Breathe.
Yeah.
Yes, it's breathe.
Yeah.
Here go another one for you. So we breathe approximately 18 breaths a minute, right? So if you look at that, 6 goes into 18 how many times? 3. That's 3 6s, right? That's the beast. So that's basically when you want to calm that beast, you just slow the breath down. And we stop that beastly urge. That's when they always talk about when we're in a rage, just take a deep breath. Well, you're calming the beast, or that part of you that is dealing with that part, the animal part. Breathing. Take a deep breath. That's it. Breathe. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So basically we went over, so our thoughts have a powerful impact on our emotions, behavior, and overall well-being. They shape how we perceive and interact with the world around us. By understanding how our thoughts influence our experience, we can cultivate a more positive and empowering mindset. So remember, you have the power to choose your thoughts and create a reality that aligns with your goals and aspirations. So I hope that's what you got to get today, you know, just the fact that our thoughts are so powerful, but we do have a choice at the end of the day, how to move forward with those thoughts. The filtration, that blew my mind. I was like, oh my goodness, what am I filtering? What thoughts?
Well, can I say something?
Yes, please.
That's like when my son was driving me to his place so that I could go to his wedding and everything like that. I was upset because my daughter wasn't coming. Because her husband, 2 weeks ago, said that he didn't feel good. And we were thinking, well, how does he know 2 weeks ago that he's not gonna feel good for the wedding? So I was starting to get a little agitated. And then all of a sudden I'm like, wait a minute. I am not going to let anybody kill my joy. And I said, David, if I start like reacting to this again, and I start going off in a rampage, I want you to yell at me, nobody's killing your joy.
I can't see you mad.
And I mean, that's
Yeah.
how I stopped it, because it's like,
You were aware of it.
it's like I'm not.
Hey, Pete.
I mean, why would I let somebody kill my joy of my son's wedding?
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
46 years old, he's finally getting married, and if I go on a rampage, it's just gonna kill the joy. And you know what? We had an amazing time,
Well, there you go.
and nothing killed the joy. So you
That's
know
it.
what?
Yeah.
That's peace.
And that was the energy that you put out.
Yeah, you
That
put that
you
out
put
there.
that energy
Yeah.
out
No
there.
one's gonna take my
See,
joy.
that's
Yeah.
right.
She's teaching me.
You
Nobody could
teach me too.
Nobody could be upset with her. She has so much positive energy
Thanks.
that, like, anytime I'm having a bad day or whatever, this is my place. This is my
Fuels
girl.
your soul. That's
There
This
it
is
is.
my girl. She's my energy.
That's peace.
And I hope I'm her energy.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. We all fuel each other, you know?
Absolutely.
That's what we're here for.
Absolutely. You have to.
You know?
So my husband and I have, we do a virtual book club, so we have done some books, and I wrote some down. The 4 Agreements is one that is really good, which helps with a positive mindset. The Magic of Thinking Big, that's another one. The Game of Life and How to Play It, and As a Man Thinketh. These are good books that if you guys want to venture out and just read on.
See, I'm not good with reading.
There's audio
Because
versions too.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
They're on YouTube.
like normally, if I watch a video or something like that, I get way more out of it than if I try to read, because for some reason, I don't remember. It's like it doesn't stick in my mind.
There are the audio version located on YouTube, and yeah, some are like maybe 2 hours. So
Okay.
that's not too bad.
You know what I like to do with the audiobooks? I'll speed it up to like 1.5.
Yeah, get it in.
Yeah, get it in quicker. It does, but it's not that fast. It's not that much faster, but it cuts time.
Yes.
You know, they're not talking like, like squeaky
Super
or nothing.
fast, but
No,
enough
just
for
a
you.
little bit. Just
Yeah.
turn it up a little bit. And it'll
Chapters are
cut the
broken out
time.
too, so you really can go to what you just wanna hear.
Yeah.
Word for word.
That's important.
That's
too.
true.
That's very important. So, because you don't waste time. Like if you get a book and you only need one part of that book, there's nothing wrong with skipping all that and getting to what you need and getting that meat and put that book back.
See, listen, look, I'm just about to say, look, this is what it is. This is how I do it. This is a fuel your soul life hack right here. This is what we're giving everybody how to do. So if I'm dealing with something that day, you know what I'm saying? Like if I'm dealing with pain. All right, I don't just sit there and read the whole book. I'm going to go to the back of the book, and then I'm going to sit there and basically look for what's going on with pain. So whatever you're dealing with that day, find it in the book that you're looking at, because you're dealing with that day. You know what I'm saying? So me personally, I'll go, and another thing, the books on audio, like you said, you can read that book, but I read a chapter. Just that chapter. I don't go through the whole book. Just the chapter that I'm dealing with that day. I read it 4 times, maybe 6 times in a day sometimes. And then that's how you're gonna remember, because
Like
now
get
it's
it
like,
in, yeah.
Then after we done, now we mindful of whatever we just read. Is now we can look for it in our life, our everyday. So we go to work, or we go to wherever we're going out here in the world. That book will start appearing out here. People will be walking down the street, and it's like, dang, that's in that book. That's in that book.
Yep.
And so the people in your experience now becomes a part of, I want to say, your database. And it's hard to forget them people. It's different type of reading, and it's been working for me. You know what I'm saying? That's
good or bad.
Interesting.
Good or bad.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Oh, I know.
Thank you.
So that's really what I have for you guys today. If you want, we can do a guided meditation to help reset your mind with the positive thoughts, get the old thoughts out and get the new ones in.
Release, reset.
And also how important it is for us to get into the proper mindset, because brainwaves, we talked about brainwaves a while back. So we have brainwave beta high, right? That's fight or flight. That's the stress, right? We're constantly in fight or flight when we go out here, you know? So we got to get out of that. And how do we get out of that? Is getting into alpha. Alpha is more the meditative, relaxed. Now I can listen to God, meditate, do the things that I need to do, but I'm mindful of the mindsets that I'm in. So if I sit here and I'm fight or flight, it's gonna be hard for me to talk to God, because I'm running. My back is like, you know what I'm saying? I'm stressed out. So this is why we do the mindful, the meditation. This is the sound bowl. When we do the sound bowl, it is to help you get into the mindset of alpha. You understand what I'm saying? So alpha is where we relax, and then we're going to be able to hear what's inside our heart, because God speaks to man inside to the heart, in the heart. So how we going to get in the heart if we out here running?
Yes.
So it's very important to do this. It's a practice. We do this every day. When we get out, as soon as we get home from work, we detach, and we got to find a way to get mindful. Kyle gone. Here you go. Kyle gone. Take me away. However it is you want to do. I got.
Well, you gotta think. You've been alive for, we'll just say, you've been alive for 40 years. Not just.
I like that.
Not
I like that
anybody,
number.
Just anybody.
Oh, okay.
Let's just say this is an example. Let's say you're 40 years old, right?
Yeah.
And since a kid, you've been listening to rap music. You're conditioned and trained to listen to negative rap music over and over again. So when you're about 30, you're about 41, somebody comes along and they're like, hey, everything you're listening to is trash and it's ruining your life. Well, you're conditioned, and and this negativity has become a coat.
You're so used to.
Yeah, it's a coat. So when you say, you know what, I'm not listening to that today, I'm listening to all church music. You know, it's hard because you've been doing this all your life, just like eating sugar. You've been getting sugar as a baby. Someone takes that sugar away. Or just like something simple, like every time something bad happens, you say, oh, I'm sorry. You know what I mean? You're telling the universe you're a sorry individual, but you're conditioned to say, I'm sorry, because you're being polite. But really, you're really casting a spell on yourself, saying, I'm sorry. You know what I mean? And
I never heard that.
See.
but just like the breathing techniques, one thing that people don't talk about a lot is this stuff takes practice. You know, you're not gonna go on the NBA court and shoot an NBA 3 off the jump. No, you need to learn how to shoot it. You got to practice it. It takes work. It takes time.
Yes.
So what happens with people don't normally, they tell you to, go breathe. But they don't tell you, you're not going to get it tomorrow.
Yes.
It's going to take you 2-3 years to be able to someone call you an MFer and you go, you know what I mean?
Is that a fight or flight?
And that's something that needs to be discussed is these things are skills that
That
are
you
not
develop.
taught, but you need to survive, and they take practice.
Yes.
Being a loyal person takes practice. Being kind takes practice for some people. You know, if you come out of a rough situation and then you're around people that weren't, you have to learn how to not be so rough around. You know what I mean? You know, you have to learn how to adapt and be transparent, and it takes practice. Things take practice. So if you think tomorrow you're gonna have a better day, you might not. Because, you know, when you do something like this, you know, new level, new devil. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Tomorrow something bad might happen to everybody in here. But because I told you guys, hey, it's gonna take practice. Now tomorrow there's a better chance of you guys surviving that bad thing because you know that I said, hey, don't forget, it's coming.
Yeah.
Practice, and that's
Set
a lot.
ourselves up powerfully.
Yeah, and that's a lot of things. A lot of motivational speakers and a lot of people don't tell us is that this stuff takes practice and it takes time. You're not gonna get it overnight,
Yeah.
and that's why people let it go. Because they don't
Have enough self-discipline.
well, they don't look at it like they would shooting a free throw. You know, shooting a free throw, you know if you don't do it, that's common sense. But no one tells you, hey, if you don't practice breathing, you're not gonna do it. So when you go to try to breathe, you just dismiss it because you don't understand that it's just like learning how to use a wrench or learning how to use a tool.
Right.
Learning how to use your breath to calm yourself is a skill that monks train to do.
Yes.
So that's why it's so easy for us to let it go because it's a real thing that takes discipline and it takes time.
Yeah.
So that's why people were like, oh, breathe? Yeah, right, I could never do that. Well, one, you said you can't. And two, you haven't practiced.
Yeah, if you say that you can't,
You can't.
you're not going to.
You're not gonna do it.
Yeah.
That's
It
right.
takes practice. So
Absolutely.
breathing works if you practice it. You have to practice. You have to tell yourself, you have to turn off that negative crap. You have to stop watching those evil movies.
And you gotta
You know,
you gotta fuel your soul.
Yeah, you have to free your soul. You have to stop hanging around Fred on the corner that
Fred
likes
on
to
the
do.
corner.
Fred.
You know, you have to get rid of Fred. Fred's bringing you down. You know what I mean? If your name is Fred, I'm sorry. Or if you have a guy really named Fred, but it takes. I don't know no Fred. But anybody, you have to get rid of negative Fred and get positive Paul.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's just what it is. It takes practice and time.
You said something real powerful. You said, you know, we're conditioned to think and say the things that we say. Mom, go ahead. Morning.
Yes, I do not like to wish anybody a good morning. You're mourning for a death, for a loss. And this was, well, I'm not even going where it comes from, but to say good morning is just a spell.
Yeah, it is.
We want you to mourn, to feel sad, to feel ucky, yucky, and that starts off depression to me.
Yep.
And I have words of grand rising, divine Monday.
Yep.
You know, there's other ways to
I'll
say
even
it, to
say
raise.
grand afternoon,
Yes.
grand night, and you know, just I switched that about 5 years ago. I started saying grand rising, and it has, you know, I already am a happy person when I wake up. I'm ready to go. Okay, but it's even better now that I started saying those things and, you know, working on my mindset. Really.
So then it would be better to say, have a blessed morning.
Blessed is
Well-
another one.
To sum it up.
Blessed
be
is
less.
be less.
Yeah, there you go.
Less. So I don't use
To
that
sum it up,
I
you
always
really
thought
have to
blessed was
watch
good.
what you say.
Yeah, and
You do.
Because you will say something that will ruin your life.
Yeah.
that's interesting.
Quick.
So morning is
You don't care
morning.
which
Morning,
sad,
your morning is sad, your
and
morning is
blessed
death.
is be less.
That's why I
Be
always say
less.
grand rising. You know how.
Be less.
But it's also like the definition that you attach to it.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's like her definition she attached to it.
Deaf.
So your definition maybe, you know, when you speak it, your emotions behind it are different.
See, I always say I'm blessed by the best.
And that is your affirmation.
Yes,
Yeah.
That's your affirmation.
And
and that works for you.
And that works
Yeah,
for you.
it does.
And it's healthy to talk about it, because it's something that
Yes.
people don't talk about.
Right.
So, you
To
know,
be able to,
getting into the mindset of, words. Well, I'm gonna explain it to you. So, New York's that way, 400 miles that way. If you take one step towards it, you're not at New York yet, but you're getting closer.
Yes.
That's the same thing with words. As soon as you say it, you're taking a step somewhere. So if you wake up in the morning and say, "Man, I'm tired," well, you're taking a step toward
Yes.
Being tired.
Being tired.
Instead of saying I'm energized.
Yeah,
I have energy.
if you say, "Oh, I hate
Yeah.
Mondays," well, you're stepping toward the rest of your Monday. You're not there yet, but you're going. You know what I mean? California's that way. If I start walking, one day I'll get there. And that's how I try to do my words now. I try to speak
Good.
every day. Like for the past couple weeks, every day I've been saying, "Oh, this is the best day of my life." I've been saying it every day because I realized that I'm taking a step towards that. And one time on Facebook, I was like in the morning, woke up in the morning, I said, "I am a millionaire." I just wrote it there in the middle of the night
Claim it.
because I'm taking a step towards that. I'm tired of being cute. I'm tired of, no, for real. I'm gonna speak, and people, I know it gets on people's nerves, it's agitating, but I'm trying to win. So I'm gonna speak, no, I'm not trying to win, I am winning.
There you
That's
go.
right.
There you go.
That's
Ah,
Mindful Monday.
It takes practice.
Yeah.
See, I said I'm trying to win. No, I am winning.
Yeah.
I am a winner.
Just like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like that. It takes practice, it takes time. You're not gonna get it overnight.
And as far as the blessed, we are beautifully and wonderfully made by our Creator.
Absolutely.
Our bodies are amazing.
Mhm.
Yes.
So you don't have to say the other word. I mean, you can. I am
Right.
amazing.
Yeah.
I am beautifully
I am amazing.
and
Yeah.
wonderfully made.
'Cause
There's
I mean,
nobody like me.
Yeah.
especially us women,
Mhm.
we are amazing because look at how we are able to give birth.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, isn't that just amazing?
It is amazing.
We can take and create a new life inside of our body. Well, we do have help from the men.
Yes.
So I'm not going to say, no, I'm serious. The men are amazing too because
They
I love that.
Because it's-
They are.
it's like they put that life into us,
Period.
connecting the egg and the seed. So, I mean, it's just amazing.
Period.
It's totally amazing how we can carry that life inside of us, nurture it, and give birth to it. I mean, it's like pushing out a
So
watermelon.
connected.
But we're amazing that we can do it. We are so amazing that we can do it.
You're so
cute.
Oh,
Can we
in case you guys
get a let's get a hand for femininity. Come on. Get that clap on. Got you, because none of us would be here without that.
Woo,
Let
yes.
me add something to that. So I was watching the Wonder Woman movie like about a year ago,
Yeah.
and I was just like, where did they come up with this from? Every movie got a history behind it, and I'm like, where did they come up with this thought of Wonder Woman? So I looked it up, and come to find out, it was one time on this planet that women was the only ones here,
What?
and they had the ability to impregnate themselves.
What?
Deep diving into that.
So
And it's silly about that because I seen a few sisters online talking about it, and the brothers got to attacking them, and I was like, they might be right.
You never
They
know.
might got a point here, and they looking like, man, what you talking about? I'm like,
Hey.
I look into it. You know what I'm saying? I look into it because
Wow.
they say the truth is weird. You know what I'm saying? It's more weirder than fiction,
Yeah.
as they say. You know what I mean? And when I seen that, it just clicked. It made a lot of sense. Like if you really look at it, I mean, they were saying like the man and the woman is only like 1 second apart from being like the woman could have easily been the man could have easily been the woman.
Wow.
That's right.
and I want to say
Elo, everybody.
peace.
We had a deep conversation earlier about all
And thanks for bringing that to the light. I mean, because that is a powerful topic.
Yes, indeed.
Because it let you, I mean, when you look, the battle is a feminine, like they trying to really, you know what I'm saying, like from from all these
Feminization of the black man.
they're
Yeah.
trying to make it to where men and women could be, they trying to kill the femininity. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because that's a very powerful energy.
So,
you know
so,
what I mean?
so at when the baby is born, I want to say, well, in the process, as you were talking about the process, I want to say the birth waters, right? It's important that those birth waters are clean, and it's crazy because when you have the GMOs and you have all this stuff inside the birth water, I forget exactly. I want to say 3 weeks, 6 weeks into it. That's when the if it's going to be a male or female is decided. So whatever's in that birth water is going to be the deciding factors. Now, if we have too much, I want to say estrogen, then we have a problem. And then sometimes the development is affected. So yes, and it's out here. It's a lot. They got a study with the frogs. I'm sure y'all seen the study with the frogs. The frogs is having sex, male frogs and male frogs, and because of the insecticide flowing into the streams, and it's causing the frogs to think and do that. So what's that say? What are we eating? You know,
Right.
what's going on? We don't know.
They're trying to feminize men.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, you
Yeah.
have
in
to
the
be careful.
marijuana,
You have to be
and
careful with
certain
that.
meats and certain foods,
Uh-huh.
they put the estrogen in
Yeah,
there
yeah.
to make men more feminine.
Well, you have to be careful when you say feminine.
this.
Uh-oh.
Because the definition in itself, if you really look at that, like, what is being feminized? Because really, you know, like a man and a woman, like the differences. So like a man that just wants to be seen is deemed feminized.
Got you.
Okay.
So you have to be very careful.
Yes, you're right.
You know, I like to just, I don't really like to dive in those topics without an end, because, you know, you don't want to steer away from the fact that some people are just out to do bad and some are out to do good.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because if somebody's like, if they're born and they have something in their mind and they think they're a man or a woman, and if they're a man and they think they're a woman, you know, it hurts to be like, you know, oh, well, they're trying to feminize, because this could be a very good person, you know, that we talking about. Not trying to defend anybody or put anybody down, but we just have to be a little bit more careful when we talk about those type of things, because the words, it's just such a vast, big topic, and you don't want to hurt anybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, it's
I see-
going back to
I-
confirmation bias.
mindfulness.
We just went through the
Oh,
confirmation bias.
Oh.
Sometimes we look
Go
at
ahead, go ahead.
information that agrees.
I love it. Healthy.
Yeah, so
Healthy
everyone,
discussions.
yeah, because
Well,
that topic, I get a little
it's just a lot.
sensitive with that topic.
It's a lot.
Too.
It
For
is.
sure.
Yeah.
You know,
so-
and
It's
I
okay.
just, I'm not trying to say anybody's wrong
No,
or
for
right.
sure. Yeah.
I'm just saying and I'm not just talking about these people in this room. I'm talking
Yeah.
about the nation.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have to be more
Yes.
careful when we speak on these things, and make sure that when we talk about, you know, men and women and things of that nature, and the chemistries and the biologies, that you really make sure you have a start point and an end point, you know, to really drive in home, so we're not just ranting and starting arguments
Right.
and further dividing
The
You know,
energy.
the man and the women. That's what's going on. It's like the internet starting this war between men and women. I like this thing where either you're a good person or you're a bad person.
Period.
Yes.
Period.
Yes.
And
You know,
Okay,
if, if you're a man that thinks he's a woman and you'll pull me out of a burning building, I got a hug for you.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
yes,
Versus, you know,
absolutely.
because you know, you got the manliest men, and you know, behind closed doors, they're really feminine.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, and then you
yeah.
got feminine men, but they're the most manliest people you ever met. They just,
Yeah.
you know,
Yes.
it's just, you know, why just like a man put on a dress? Well, you're not a man anymore because you have a dress?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, we want men to be, okay, look at it this way. We want to continue to have children being
Oh,
birthed.
absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
If the man becomes the woman and the woman becomes the man, we're going to have a problem. Unless the women will go back to,
Is that
Right.
but here's
Impregnating
the,
themselves.
and this is why you got to go through that with a fine tooth comb, because is that a hyperbolic statement? is it really a problem? Are there really enough men trying to be women where it's slowing down population? That's why I say you have to be careful.
Let me answer that because
Wait a minute. He gonna add on.
because population control is real.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So you got to think about who's really behind these agendas and what's their agenda. I mean, because like you were saying, the frogs, but they had to be led to think that by some insecticide. It's not natural for animals to be out here. Male animals will be humping on male animals.
Right.
You know, because they're not humping for sport. They're doing it for reproduction, which we all supposed to be doing.
Right.
See, if we get outside of reproducing, then it comes with all this, I think I'm a female, I think I'm a dude.
Right.
Well, if it comes to reproducing, then you know what you are, because you can't reproduce by being something you're not.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's an agenda, it's a war.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not nothing really, I feel what you're saying.
Not that
Yeah.
we want.
Because I'm not anti, I mean,
Right.
even one of my drivers that used to drive for me was, you know what I'm saying? He's a very good driver.
Yes.
He never came at me like that. He respected me. I respected him.
Right.
We really cool dude. He
Absolutely.
died, but we was cool. Never had a problem. So I don't judge nobody about what preference you is, but I do though know that it's a war being played out and it ain't normal.
No.
Yes.
And being that there is evidence out there that basically are saying that, you know, this chemical, let's just say let's say it's not an agenda, but we know that this chemical is causing this to happen. We're still doing it and we're still buying it and it's still working. Lawsuits are being settled, all types of stuff is happening. So with that being said, knowing that if I go into the store and I buy this product, it has the potential to change my whole future generation. You understand, kids? Now I got to look at it differently because now my babies, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking at the kids. You know, I got grandbaby now. That's the last thing I wanted to go into the store and then eat something that causes her to actually feel different and not who she is. And I think the thing is being balanced. Keyword is balance. Like there's a time to be feminine and there's a time to be masculine. Like if it's time for me to strap up and do what I need to do to take care of my family, I need to be masculine. But if there's a time where I need to deal with the caring part, where I need to sit back and just listen and try to be like what my mom, she tries to sit there and do things for me. I have to maybe actually do that same thing for my kids. You know what I'm saying? So it's really about balance.
Because we all have masculine and energy.